Hundreds of thousands of young Americans have joined rallies across the country to call for stricter gun controls. Well, let's stay with that story now, and we can speak to Assistant Professor of Sociology, Kevin Wozniak. He's at the University of Massachusetts and has conducted research in US public opinion on gun control. I wonder if you can tell me, first of all, how much support there is for tighter gun control and how that support might have changed over the years in the US.
One way that we measure overall public support for gun control is asking a general question: do you think that laws governing the sale of firearms should be more strict or less strict? And the percentage of the American public who says that these laws should be made more strict declined from the early 1990s until about 2012, when it reached a point where a minority of Americans said the laws should be more strict. But following the 2012 shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School, that number has been rising, and it recently reached 67% of the public who says that these laws should be more strict. And this is about the highest it's been since about 1994. So it does feel like the Parkland shooting has made a bit of a difference.
There's certainly different types of policy being debated about gun control, but what a lot of these young people have been talking about in these marches is restrictions on semi-automatic weapons. What kind of support is there on that?
That is a very divisive question. The best poll data we have show that the American public is roughly evenly divided, about 50-50, on the question of banning the sale or possession of semi-automatic weapons. So that proposal might be quite controversial.
In the end, doesn't really matter what kind of public support there is. Isn't it really about how much will there is in Congress to make changes and how popular or how powerful the NRA is?
Correct. The NRA has long been recognized as a very powerful actor in American politics in regards to gun policy, and particularly since the Republican Party has been in control of Congress since the middle years of President Obama's administration. They have blocked all efforts to bring forward new types of gun control legislation in Congress. And interestingly, a new poll that was just released in the past couple of days from the Wall Street Journal and NBC News indicated that for the first time, more people in America, about 40%, are saying that they hold a negative opinion of the NRA, as opposed to about 37% saying that they hold a favorable opinion of the NRA. And that's a flip. It used to be a bit the opposite of that. And taken together with the fact that in just the past couple of weeks, the state of Florida and its state legislature did pass new gun control legislation, even though it's completely controlled by the Republican Party in that state. That feels very different and very new. Republican-controlled legislatures haven't been willing to enact new gun control legislation for many, many years now. And in fact, the NRA is deeply opposed to the new Florida law. They have sued the state of Florida in federal court, arguing that their new law is unconstitutional. So this new turn of the mass public against the NRA and the willingness of some Republican politicians who are in power in our country to put forward new gun control proposals, this does feel like a new shift that seems to be a function of the Parkland shooting and the new mobilization of the survivors.
All right, we'll have to wait and see how much that shift develops into any sort of action. Kevin Wozniak from the University of Massachusetts, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.